Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Richard, if you didn't know, hence Dickie. I have some interesting news, two pieces of interesting news, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are. And by the way, if you're not subscribed and you're constantly freeloading, please subscribe. I'm nearly up to 10,000 subscribers now, and it would be really appreciated for me and Susie. Yes, Susie. So I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. Or I have some good news and I have some good news, depending on which way you look at it. Normally I would do a ride on today, but I thought I'll sit down and explain the situation. So, let's start with the bad news or the good news. The bad news, let's call it bad news. I'm now going through the process of redundancy at the current place that I'm employed, and my last day of service is looking at around the 29th of May 2026. So I've been there 6 years, so there should be a reasonable payout. That's all got to be calculated and finalised, but in the past I've written software to calculate redundancy payments and things like that. And so I've calculated it myself, and so I think it'll be okay. Now, because I'm leaving on the 29th of May, that means we're at the early part of the financial year in the UK. So from a tax perspective, I could stretch it out and not work until the next financial year of 2027, and ultimately get a tax refund of the taxes that I've had to pay for 2026 to 2027. So it might be to my advantage to not bother working. Does that sound reasonable? I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. So, it's been a great experience working with my current employer and working in the manufacturing space in technology, IT, because I work in IT. It's been great, and I've learnt a lot, and hopefully if there's another job or I go and get another job, we'll take it from there, because there's an opportunity where if I stretch it out to the early part of 2027, then I may well move abroad to an economy, as I've stated in previous videos, an economy that's cheaper, maybe the Far East or something like that, and survive off my monthly pensions that come on my 60th birthday, which is at the start of 2027. So really, I only have to go through June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7 months, and then my pensions start in January 2027. Fortunately, I won't pay any tax on that, hopefully. Yeah, but hopefully, that's the idea. So that's the bad news. I'm losing my job. What are the chances of getting another job in IT at the age of 59? I would probably say, I always work on the 20-80 rule, the 80-20 rule. I would say there's a 20% chance. 20% chance. And I'm sounding a bit pessimistic on that, and I'm not too worried about it. So that takes us up to May, the end of May 2026, and then I'll be unemployed. Never been unemployed before, never. And the reason, and it's not just me that's been made redundant, it's the whole technology team in the UK that's been made redundant. And that's because the costs to keep employees in the UK is so expensive. So they are shifting the whole team to either over to America or over to India, because it's cheaper costs from a tax perspective. I understand that from a business perspective. I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. That's the bad news, or the good news, depending on which way you look at it. I'm looking forward to stopping working for a month or two, to tell you the truth, because it also leads into the summer of the UK. so I can take some time off and play around on the motorbikes, assuming that petrol isn't £4 a litre. Yeah? If it is, we've got a bigger problem than me being unemployed. Let's talk about the good news. I've been invited to a wedding. Now, I live in the UK. I've been invited to a wedding which is in Chesapeake, in Virginia, over in the USA. And that wedding is going to be performed on the 24th of April, 2026. So I could catch an aeroplane and go to the wedding it's at Norfolk, actually, near Chesapeake, and go to the wedding and then hire out a motorcycle and ride over to the Blue Ridge Mountains. The last time I was in that area of America, which is just south of Baltimore, was when I was about 10 or 11 years of age. So I haven't been over to that area for a long time. So that would be really interesting. That would be really interesting. I've had a look on these, like Easy Rider, is it? Or where you can hire out your own motorbike. I've had a look there on these websites and the rates seem okay. Also, the groom of the wedding over in Chesapeake or Norfolk, I've asked him to find out if any of the mates of his have got motorcycles which I can borrow for a few days and ride that motorcycle from Norfolk, Chesapeake, over to the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is about 250, 300 miles away, and ride around the Blue Ridge Mountains for a few days, catching cheap hotels and things like that. What do you think to that idea? And get some footage of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Yeah? What do you think? That would be a cool idea. And then you can come and share the experience with me going over to America, go to the wedding. There won't be too much stuff on the wedding, I promise you. And it's only a small wedding. It's only a select few that have been invited, me being one of them, of which I am one of the godfathers. So I become a godfather. There we are. So that's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting. And then literally take the bike out and go cruising for a few days. I was thinking about taking a week out, catch the flight over for the wedding. You know, land on the 23rd. The wedding is on the 24th. On the 25th, hire the bike out from the morning and just go riding. Go out up to the hills and the windy roads of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Would you want to come and join me for that? Would you enjoy the content that came from that? I think you would. Tell me below, what are your thoughts on this? I think it'd be okay. Of course, Susie would have to stay here in the UK, and in Continentia, we'll have to look after her. Interesting times ahead. Interesting times ahead. Let's see where we go. I've been made redundant a couple of times in the past, but instantly got new jobs and instantly been financially better off. So we'll have to suck it and see. At that point, when I was made redundant, never was I 59 years of age. So we'll have to wait and see. Have you recently been made redundant? I knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was too expensive. You know, having had businesses before in the past, I knew that the costs of employing staff in the UK is phenomenally expensive, unbelievably expensive. And if we keep on going as we are, I suspect that we'll all be contractors and you'll not be employed if this continues. And it's not just this government, that's the Labour government that's done it. It was the Conservative government of the past as well. The taxation is unbelievable for businesses. Unbelievable. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little chat. Let's see where we go. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Do you want me to go over to the US and ride around the Blue Ridge Mountains? I think that would be really good fun. I think that would be really good fun. Tell me what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching. Ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.